guys, so welcome back to the channel, and yeah, I'm sorry this is taking me a little while to upload. I just wanted to see, I surprisingly got lucky with my first build since the new cards were released. I don't play on any like Dueling Nexus or anything like that, so I just play with the hard copies of the cards. That's the way I prefer it. Yeah, I just like the deck build like that, so I only learn by playing at locals, unfortunately. So this is the list that I've decided to play. I actually have, after my second locals, so I've only lost one game, I drew one game, and I've won 6? Yeah, 6. The only loss I got was the Kashtira in time. The matchup I think is really good for this deck. I don't see any issues with the matchup. The most difficult end board I had to deal with was actually Bird Up. So they hard drew Revolt, and then they set up obviously the Lyrilusk that bounces, the Negate with Utopic, sorry, and then double Dragon Lords, and that was just too much. Like, there's just too much. There's a lot going on there. So yeah, there's not much I could do about that. But I did win that 2-1 in the end, because obviously you get to side, and they can't hard draw Revolt every game. Well, once you get past the first Revolt, if you survive, it's pretty easy to beat that deck, in my opinion. But yeah, yeah, let's just get into it. I'll try and be as well. I'll explain very in depth like why I've chosen some of these cards. So I'm actually maxed out. I actually maxed out Lubellion on this one. This is the one you want to open, because obviously you discard, and then you're going to add either Magnamut or Saronir, depending on what the rest of your hand is like. But I actually think that you want to open this format. Obviously, if you're going second, side 1 or 2 out. So this is actually a nice way to have easy things to side out. But going first, I want to open this because I want to draw a Bystial, so that then you can do the branded fusion play where you send Macoria, and then you can obviously use your Bystial to banish the Macoria. Macoria lets you add Cartesia, special Cartesia. Cartesia lets you make Dust Dragon. Dust Dragon lets you send something, a Garura from the grave, or do you know what I mean, etc, etc. So this is actually a card that I wanted to open, so I wanted to max it out. So I played 3 Lubellion. I just played the 2 Magnamut. Obviously they're not, let's do it like this. So I played 2 Magnamut because it's obviously not great now, because Tearlaments got absolutely obliterated on the ban list. So the Bystials are not the greatest at the moment, but this plushes you, and there were so many games that I used this effect, banish my Tragedy. Tragedy lets me add like wherever I want, or and then I just added Albaz in the end phase, and Kashtira can't actually stop that shit. So normal summon Albaz is so strong this format. So yeah, obviously if they've got a Fenrir, they just fucking banish it. But yeah, 2 Mutt, 2 Saronir, because again this is the one that you would want to open, because this lets you send a branded spell, or traps, so you can send your Retribution and add something back, or you can set something, you can send Regained or Branded Lost, so that you can activate it with your Beast, or you can send Branded Opening, which is what I do quite a lot, to be fair, because it's just that protection for your fusions. And then I just play 1 Drua's Worm. Again, this is just like an interruption, and if you've got Cartesia, you can like banish, summon this, then use Cartesia to fuse, and then obviously that's a send, and then you get, so yeah, and you can chain block your Dust Dragon, so that's really good. Just for 1 Bystial Baldrake. Again, these 2, they like, this pluses you, these don't really plus you, so that's why I've just played 1 each. This is actually really good because a lot of people have to try to get rid of this, so it's really good. Like, they have to try and play around it, and you can like tribute your smaller monsters and stuff like that. So yeah, very happy with the Baldrake. It actually performed a lot better than I thought it would. But just 1 of each, you don't need more. So obviously, if you don't want to play the Bystials and you just want to play like a couple of Saronir or something like that, then that's more than enough to play the Fright First stuff. It just depends on your preference. Like, I like the Bystials still, because they're not just hand traps, they're combo pieces. So yeah, I was happy with them. 3 Albaz, I think it's a necessity now to play 3 Albaz. Obviously, if you do the play where you make the striking dragon with the Makoria, then you've already lost out on 1. So yeah, I think it's mandatory to play 3. Then we've got, I play 1 Spriggan's Kit. This is just another one. You can add this. You can actually use this to make the striking dragon. This adds you more cards for. It can add you Lost if you've opened this and Aluba. Then you can like normal summon Aluba. Aluba then makes gets Brand of Fusion. You can use Brand of Fusion effect. Then you can special summon Kit, and you can get another extender or something else. So yeah, I do like Kit, and it's obviously searchable from Lost, which is a big bonus. I play the 1 Albion. This is good to just draw, because obviously the combo that you can be super greedy with this and Saranir, so you can send Retribution, send Branded in white, and then banish the Retribution to add back the white, and then you can fuse to make a Mirror Jade, and you can actually end with Dust Dragon, Rindbrum, and Mirror Jade on your first turn. So yeah, like very good for that. Then 2 Makoria, very, very good. Yeah, I actually love this card. I remember before when I was playing 2, I had really good runs at locals, but unfortunately there was no regionals at that time. But yeah, I love Makoria. I'm happy that I'm playing it back at 2, and I'm glad that it's basically got its own fusion. So yeah, very happy with that. Then, unlike a lot of people, I'm actually playing 2 Cartesia. I know you're saying play 1, but Kashtira banish a lot of your cards, and there was a lot of games where they banish 1. And so I had the second one as follow-up, because if you don't, then I don't know, it's like the same thing as Pot of Desires. You're not going to play loads of one-offs if you're playing Pot of Desires, because you're just going to banish it and then you don't have any. So I think 2 is necessary. Like if I lose one of these 2, it doesn't matter, but if you lose Cartesia, this is like a main piece now in my opinion, because Dust Dragon is just so good. But yeah, so I played 2 of these. For the Despia stuff, obviously 3 Aluba, it's always going to be the same. I would imagine that this will probably get hit on the next ban list, because I think Despia is going to be like the next best. I think it's going to be the best deck. So yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that, but yeah, adds you a branded spell or trap. Then we've got, I played 2 Tragedy and I play 1 Dramaturge. So have been considering maybe cutting a Tragedy to play 1 Adlib, but then that's kind of a little bit bricky. Or maybe cutting the Dramaturge and playing Adlib, but I don't know. I just think Dramaturge just puts so much work in for me in all my games. And it's just another interruption that people have to play around. So yeah, I kind of like it, but I understand why some people don't play it. I actually play 3 Nibiru. This is potentially something I'm going to cut, and maybe add more consistency cards like Pot of Prosperity or Fusion Deployment or something like that. But for now, this just again put so much work in for me. The amount of times that I drew this off Regained and then nibbed them and then just killed them my turn, because obviously you can out token so easy. But yeah, so Nib actually putting a lot of work in both locals for me. 3 Opening. This card's busted. Obviously this is just, if you open this with Tragedy, you're just absolutely comboing. Or Saranir as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. I think in the OCG this is at 2. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened to us here as well. Yeah, this probably be the one, because this is just so good, because it's protection and it's basically a combo starter. So yeah, I like opening. I think it's busted. Yeah. Obviously the best card one of the best cards in the deck. I won't say it's actually the best card, but Brand of Fusion, and then we all know what this does. It sucks that Ash is back in Yu-Gi-Oh, back in the format, because obviously then it just kills this, but that's why we play Cartesias. For one-offs, we've got 1 branded in red. Thinking about bumping this up to 2, because the amount of times I drew this and Banishment in my opening hand, still comboed, but yeah, it's just not fun. Play 1 branded in white, just as another fusion spell. Obviously, like I mentioned, there is combo. Pack actually showcased it on his channel. Shout outs to Pack, because the combo that he showed, I thought on my own of a smaller combo, but I would never have thought about that. Like, it just shows you the difference between players. Like, Pack is just unbelievable player in my opinion, anyways. Then we play one more field spell. I will say quick, like, this is just good because obviously if you've got Albaz in your grave, then you can banish materials. So if you've got Albaz and Macoria in grave, you can just banish the Albaz and the Macoria to make like a Lubellion, and then Macoria is going to get you an ad. So yeah, I will say that. And then obviously one theater, we don't play the patchwork stuff, so we need to have more ways to fusion, and this is still very good for like grinding and stuff like that. It's difficult to get off the other effects, but it's still pretty good. One lost, like Branded Lost is just, it's just such a good card. I'm hoping in the tins this year it gets like a secret rare or something like that, because this card is just so broken. This, like, if in the mirrors sometimes it can be yugioh super poly first, but I think if you open Branded Fusion and then you are able to get to Lost, you've won. Like, you've just won. Even if you get super polyed, if you play well, if you have Lost up and they super poly you, you can still win if you have Lost, because Lost just gives you so much advantage. It doesn't allow them to do anything, and it's just busted. One regained. This obviously lets you special a Bystial back. So if you have to discard like, you know, Drew's Worm or a Magnum or something like that, then it doesn't really matter. So because regained will put it back, and then also the put back a card and draw one is just fucking so good. The amount of times I did that and then drew Nib or drew something that just made me kill my opponent next turn was just bonkers. And I was considering cutting this, but I definitely am not now. For some more one-offs, play Called By because it's busted, and we lose to Ash. And then one Foolish Burial just for... That's why I've also played 2 Tragedy. I don't want to play Foolish Burial and 1 Tragedy, because then what you're going to send? You kind of have to send like maybe a Macoria if you've got Bystial, but sending Tragedy from this is much better. So yeah, playing 1 just has like more starters. You can play 1 Retribution, obviously banish to add back 1. It can come up as well, the first effect, like where you set it and then it negates a summoning effect, which can come up, like, so pretty cool. But actually push back your resources as well, which is nice. But yeah, most of the time you're just going to banish it from grave to add back Branded Fusion. Banded Banishment, basically target a Despia or level 8 higher fusion monster in your graveyard, and then special summon it and super poly with a field. So another good card. Then last one for the main deck is Branded Beast. Again, this is actually really good. This puts in so much work. Just pop stuff all the time. Yeah, I'm just going to summon, pop. That's why as well I think this is still really good with the Bystial'S, because it just gives you a different form of interaction. Because I've actually seen a lot of like imperms and stuff like that, so it doesn't shut off, but you can still like at least have this. Or if you get Dark Ruled and stuff, you still have Beast as a form of interaction. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we'll play 1 Dusk Dragon. This card is busted. So I will say to you that obviously you make this with Blazing Cartesia and a light or dark monster. When this card is fusion summoned, you can send a level 6 or higher light or dark monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. So you can send Garora, you can send any of your Albaz fusions, so like Albion, Brigand, Titaniclad, Sprint if you want to play Sprint. From your extra deck, from your main deck, you can send Saranir, you can send Drew's Worm, you can send Albion, you can send Dramaturgy if you say, look, you've got a Branded in Red in your hand, you can send a Lubellion. Like, there's so many cards you can send from this, it's absolutely wild. And then on your opponent's turn, you can banish it from the field when your opponent summons a monster from a card effect. By your opponent's activated monster effect. So they activate a monster effect and summon something, then obviously you can tag this out and summon either Queritus or Proskinion currently. I actually play both, but I never summoned Proskinion. I did once, and then I took Rise Heart and then attacked the game. But I actually think it's going to be a lot better when we get the Synchro, the like Lulith or something like that, Lululith or something like that. It'd be much better when we get that. So yeah, this was very, very good. I'll actually show you in a video, in another video, some like combos and stuff, and I'll show you what I did with like a just really average hand, like it was quite a crap hand, and I'll show you what this thing made me be able to do. But yeah, then we've got Windbrum, sorry, the Striking Dragon. So this is like a negate for just a negate for target on the field for extra deck monsters. So yeah, it does that. So you can actually use your Mirror Jade effect, send one, and then use the effect to negate it. So then your Mirror Jade now doesn't have to banish, and next turn, because obviously you send for cost, next turn, because it was negated, you can use the effect again. So this helps you get like so much advantage if you can get this and Mirror Jade on the field. And like I said, there is a combo that you can get this, and Mirror Jade all on the field. Game one, if you're lucky as well, you could probably get Lubellion with Beast and Lost and stuff like that. Like you can go off with this deck now. It's so good. The second effect of this is when it's in the graveyard and you have Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard, you can banish either this or the Albaz and summon the other. So if you banish this, you summon the Albaz. If you banish the Albaz, then you summon this. Obviously, only if it's correctly summoned, you can summon this. But yeah, so that's another form of interaction on your opponent's turn. You can banish this, summon Albaz, super poly with something on their field. So that is also very good. So those are it for the two new fusions. Absolutely busted. I love them. I actually thought I was gonna like this one more, but this card is busted. It's so good. Okay, next. I'll whiz through these because we all know them. Mirror Jade, busted. We know that. Such a good card. I probably would play Mirror Jade at 1, but Kashtira is a thing, so you kind of have to play 2 because of them. 2 Albion. It's just a good card, so you play 2. You need to play 2 really. 1 if you need to combo with it, and the other one for like sending from Mirror Jade. 2 Lubellion. This is one I'd definitely play at 1 if Kashtira wasn't a thing, but we can't, so we have to play it like that. And then for the last of the Albaz fusions, we play 1 Titanic Lad. I was thinking about playing a Brigand because what have we got? Because of Macoria, but yeah, we just don't have the room. I would like to play the Alba Lunatus as well, but again, we just don't have room. Like this could be an Alba Lunatus, and this could be a Brigand, and that would be perfect. But Kashtira will just banish all that stuff. Obviously, also as well, shout out to the sleeves. I think Kit is Ferrigit, sorry, is like my Yu-Gi-Oh crush. I'm not gonna lie. For our Despia stuff, we've got 2 Masquerade. I still think 2 is correct. I know some people play 1, but that's because you're squeezing in other stuff. Maybe you're playing Super Poly and stuff. But I still think 2 is really good because against certain decks, you just make 2 of these and then that's game. Like that's as Jaden Yuki would say. But yeah, and that's game. So yeah, 2 Masquerade I think is still correct. Let's go for the Queritus first. Obviously, you're going to tag out to make this Lilith. And I just think this is good against just such random things like... I played against Tri Brigade, good against that. Played against Mafnek, good against that. Against Kashtira, it's good against Kashtira as well. Like, if they want to banish it to get rid of it, like you're going to get effect, you're going to summon Albaz, you're going to super poly their field, or you're going to summon a Lubra and then get follow-up from that. You're going to... what else? So yeah, that's just it's just so good to make everything 0. And then last one is Proskinion. This I'm probably going to cut Proskinion. It is good in some situations, but I just feel like I'm always making Queritus. I made this once. I made this like 5 times, so probably more. So yeah, I'll probably cut this and probably play a Brigand or an Alba Lunatus, to be fair. That's probably going to be what I choose. And then the final few cards, obviously we've got 1 Chimera. I literally just make this against back row decks. I hardly make this against anything else. At the moment, like, just no point. And I can only make it with, realistically, if I want to get the effect off, I can only make it with Theatre. So, yeah, it's not massively amazing for me. That's why I only play And then the final card is Garura, because this is now a combo piece. You can obviously send this from Dust Dragon and draw a card. So that is why that is in there. So guys, I've rambled on a little bit longer again, like I always do when I do the branded profiles, but I just want to try to explain them as best as I possibly can. Yeah, I've played this deck for a long time now. I would back myself playing this deck against most people. But yeah, absolutely love the deck. I think the deck is busted now. I have so much fun playing it. I never bricked once. Like again, one of my bad hands, if you open Cartesia with like almost anything, you can just still combo and set up like quite a few interruptions, and I'll show you that in another video. But yeah guys, there will be a few changes to this deck and I'll show you that video soon. But yeah, for now, that's what I played. Got 6 wins, 1 draw and a loss. So not bad in 8 rounds. So yeah, really happy with it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.